It's the kid. It's the kid. We're here, back again. Devil's not around. Devil hasn't morphed to a guy straight out of like a 70s Shaft movie to the guy on your right, but the guy to your far right is a guy who you may have remembered featuring way back on like a Hope Meets Banter episode. So I want to allow him to first introduce himself. So Mr. Ramon, man, introduce the people. Tell me the club you unfortunately support, and what's your about.
Yeah, what's happening, people? I am Ramon, otherwise known as Ramsey from Neek Sports. I am an avid, excited Arsenal fan, and very passionate about my opinion, as you may have seen before.
Okay. So,
well, Ramon was on the show a few times. I think when I was abroad, was that when I was in Tobago last September?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You were. Oh yes, you were. Yeah. You came onto that. I think like a few times. Yeah. You were. I remember. Yeah. I remember now. So guys, look, man. It is what it is, man. This is the week. This is the week with the Premier League returns. The Premier League restarts, and I think this is the last of the kind of major leagues to return footballing wise. La Liga has been in full flow. Syria in full flow, the Portuguese league, the German league with the first to start, but now the Premier League is now coming back in. And look, so there's so many different ways to start here, but I think I'm going to maybe just go from the top and then go down from the bottom. So let's just first bring out the Premier League table here, and let's just deal with the stuff at the very top. Because again, I think so. Before I just bring in the share screen, let me even just kick things off. So let me obviously start with our guest here. So did you believe, let's cast our minds back to March. Did you believe that the Premier League would resume and we would get to this stage where we are right now, where they would actually bring back the Premier League, or had you already given up hope that they're going to avoid the league and then move on to next season?
Ramon?
Oh, yeah.
I think in England we always had that. It was always mentioned that it would probably be resumed because the way everyone was talking, no one wanted to stop. Early on, all the clubs voted to stay if possible, to carry on. It was probably only at that point when sort of like Holland had cancelled and France had cancelled that people were talking about, is this going to happen? It's not going. But the Premier League have always stated that their plan is to get the season going at some point, whenever it is. So I was always confident at some point it was going to come back.
Or you?
I mean, I'm slightly surprised that it's back now. I thought it would be maybe a bit late. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it would have definitely eaten into next season. Maybe not a last chunk, but at least a couple months into next season. The way that it is, we're not gonna have a proper pre-season. But if we get the 9 games in the fixture that they set out, the new season will start maybe with a week or 2 delay. So I'm not surprised it's come back. I'm surprised it has come back as soon as it has. And I think the fact that you see other leagues coming back, that probably, or at least other leagues giving certain return dates, it gives rise to another league saying, okay, maybe we can come back if we follow the protocols. The others, of course, Germany set the pace with that. So the Premier League's kind of followed from their lead.
So just even coming back again before we go dive into it. Did the French league break it? Do you think that the French league, looking at what is happening right now, they maybe shot their load a bit too early and they should have sort of waited? Or do you think they said, well, we took the safest and the best option? Ramon?
I think they may have done, but as far as I'm aware, it's probably more due to the government and what the governments are saying. I know in Holland, government are saying there's no sports going to happen until September. So, and I think France may have been quite similar, although a little bit earlier because their season starts in August. So it's also, as much as it is trying to get everyone back together, there's also different pandemics going on in different countries. Some have got it worse than others. Although UK's got it quite big.
Yeah, UK had it pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. But I think UK, even though UK have had it quite big, the government in the UK have always been and working with the Premier League to try and get that on as soon as possible. So straight away it was looking at how can we get back, how many tests do we need to do a week to get the teams back. Whereas France seemed a bit more skeptical and just said, you know what, let's just forget it. And it's as much as we'd like it all to happen together, everyone's got their own league. No one's governed by the same league. I know everyone's under kind of FIFA, but in terms of their own actual leagues in the country, people can choose their own start date. So it's a bit weird having everyone doing different things different times, but end of the day, everyone's free to do what they want with their own league.
Are you Knicks?
Yeah, I wonder if
Knicks change that background, man. Change that bloody background. I mean, what do you? First of all, you're in some place in South Mississippi, like some white picketed fence. You're in a mansion, and now you. And look, Pogba is. Don't you know that Pogba is leaving? Can't you just accept this as fact?
Well, can I accept and we could be excited for while he's here? Am I allowed to?
Knicks, okay. Just talk about the French league. Just address the French league. Just address the French league.
No, I think that I think the government legislation is a big part in that. The UK government didn't put any suspension on public gatherings as late as France and Holland did. But my biggest thing is I wonder how this is going to affect PSG, because I mean we already
where I was going to go. PSG they screwed them over.
We already talk about how uncompetitive the league is and how that negatively affects them in the Champions League. Having no football at all, is that going to be better or worse? I'm surely going to be worse, because you want to have some competitive games. Or is it a case of they got more rest? I don't know, but I can't see it benefiting them or any other French team that's in European competition as the months go by.
All right, so good. Let's go into the Premier League right now. Let's just see where things stand. So let's look at the table open right now. Okay, actually, let me scroll to the top. All right, that's good. So for a lot of Liverpool fans, they feared the worst. They thought that, you know what, it's going to be voided. They're going to be screwed over, and that's it. So this is where things are. And maybe you guys can correct me. They can fit. So if Arsenal beats Man City, they can win the league at Goodison Park with a win.
Yeah.
So that's the thing here. So let me come first to Knicks with this. It's behind closed doors. There are no fans and so forth. Do you think that it will take away, because it's going to happen, Man United fans and so forth, it's happening. They're winning the Premier League, and that's something that you won't be able to have over them. It's a reality. It's happening. Yes, it's happening. So, but let me come first to Knicks. So, Knicks, let me come first to you. So, do you think that when Liverpool do eventually actually finally clinch their first Premier League, it won't really feel the same because they won't really be able to have their fans and everyone behind them and so forth? Or do you think it doesn't really matter? As long as they win the league, they'll be able to celebrate just as much?
I mean, for Liverpool fans, considering they've never won the Premier League, and there's many Liverpool fans, therefore, I've never seen their team lift a league title. If you're under 30 years old, they don't know what it feels like to win a Premier League. So it's not a case of, what might have been, we didn't get the bus parade that we did last time we won the Premier League. You weren't alive when they won it last. So just take it. You take it as you get it, and we move on to next season. I don't want to hear any. There can be no complaints. Just take it. Behind closed doors, party in your back garden with 6 people. Remember, only 6 people.
Hey, Knicks, man, why do we have to throw in us? Like, Knicks, do you know these fans are crazy, Knicks. These fans are psychos. But they don't give them any. Guys, Knicks' Twitter thingy is in the description box below. So any Liverpool fans angered by what this guy says, spam him on his Twitter. So carry on.
They don't know how it feels. So they're not missing out on anything. If anything, this is the greatest feeling of winning the Premier League maybe they'll ever get. So they better just cherish it. So
you're saying that they will never win the Premier League again?
Maybe. It's been 30 years. Nothing is guaranteed. So,
all right, Ramon.
Yeah. The thing is with Liverpool, yeah, as I said, asterisk or no asterisk, they're gonna they need the Premier League, and they've been waiting for all this time. Supposed to be one of the best teams in the country but haven't won a league for such a long time. For them, even if the league was voided, take the title and run. Take the title and run, because a title's a title. And people will remember this. You know, it's not necessarily going to be the treble winners or the Invincibles, but more like the COVIDs. You know, we might call them the COVIDs. You know, in years to come, we call them, you know what, the COVIDs, because the league was stopped and then they won it.
Whoa!
No, but you know, so they got. I'm saying they may go down in history. Just may not be for the reasons why they wanted to go down in history. But you know, we win the title, put your name up there. You know, no one will forget the 2020 season and the league was all stopped for months on end, and Liverpool eventually won the league, maybe at their greatest rivals in front of absolutely nobody.
You know what's funny?
I'm just shocked by Ramsey calling them the COVID League winners, man. That's, I mean, look, as I said again, guys, Ramon's Twitter thing is in the description box below if you want to follow him. So you see, Nix, let me show you. Wait, Nix, let me show you what you've started. No. Before you talk, Nix, before you talk, let me show you what you started, and let me show you why you need to be careful by the stuff you put back there. We can influence people, and you are very influential in the wrong way. Now look at the crap you've now come to influence, man. Can you see, Nix? Can you see this?
I'm gonna be honest.
No, Nix, don't. Nix, your credibility is like people respect you. They're calling you weeks because you have a W. You if you say what I think you're about to see, you're going to be called leaks for at least the next 2 weeks. So think carefully.
What I was gonna say is that Xavi and Iniesta would be grateful to be compared to Bruno. That's it.
So therefore, you've just lost all your credibility.
Man, I'm just agreeing with the viewers, in it. This is who we do it for. This is who we do it for.
Okay, so before we leave Liverpool, man.
Wait. What I was going to say.
Okay, so you wanted to go for it.
Yeah. So obviously, before like the Watford game, when they lost their invincible or the unbeaten record, everyone's talking about, are they going to win? They're going to win the league at the earliest possible time, the quickest team ever to win the league. They're actually officially winning the league, the latest any other team has done it. Now, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying if we want to put, establish certain names and certain attributes to this season and this team, every other team has won the league quicker than Liverpool have. I'm just saying.
No. Okay, fine. I mean, but basically, we've already got off to a very shaky start already, right? That's why we're going to a very shaky start right now. What's it called? Just person, thank you for the super chat. Pogba will surpass Zizou. Poggoat. Nix, are you seeing the kind of nonsense you're beginning to start now?
I'm not having that.
Thank you. At least there's some sense here. So actually, before we sort of leave Liverpool, so as we see here, so 29 games played, 27 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. So what's that? So 9 games left. Do you think? So what records can they break?
Right. So there's what 20
because they can't break the invincible record. They can't break the goals record. But I think they can break the points total.
Yeah, there's 27 points left to play for. So they can get 109 points. That's the maximum. Now, the next 2 games is Everton and then, I can't remember who the second one is.
Palace?
Is it Palace? Yeah, I think it's Palace. Yeah, Palace.
And then the one after that is Man City. But obviously, if they win their next 2, they'll win it before they get to Man City. Man City will have to give them a guard of honor, COVID permitting. But yeah, they'll have to win. So we said 18. So 6 games, 6 of the last 9 games to get 100 points. They'll need 6 wins and a draw to beat.
What's the record?
100 Centurions. So they needed 6 wins and a draw to beat Man City's 100 points target.
So
it's possible.
So okay. So what do you think, guys? Okay, so Ramon, what do you think? Do they beat it or they don't beat it? What do you think?
I think it's possible for them to beat it. The only thing I think is what's the motivation? because we know, looking back, and I've watched many a documentary in the past 3 months about the Invincible season. When Arsenal won the league at White Hart Lane, when we got them together the next day.
Wait, Ramon, you realize that this was 500 years ago. So, Ramon, I question you sitting down with your cup of tea, because that's what English guys do, watching a documentary that happened 500 years ago.
Listen, 500 years ago, and still no one broke it. Wow. I mean, come on.
No. But you know what I would say? This is what I would say. Insult Wenger once. I've been saying this. Insult Wenger once. Insult him only once. No one has done what they did. People keep saying, oh, they drew 12 games, they drew 15 games. If it's so easy to do, you do it. The fact that they're the only team to go through a season unbeaten, give Papa Uncle Wenger his due. Sorry. Sorry.
No, you have to. And, Liverpool, I think with Liverpool, that, as much as the fans will say, oh, we didn't really care about the Invincible season, records are made to be broken, and there was opportunity for them to break it this year, and they failed to do that, embarrassingly beating 3-0 away from home. But for me, going forward for them, and that's what they got to look to is, as I said, also Wenger said to the players at the time, right, now you've won the league, you've got history to make now. Go and make history and go unbeaten. And there was a couple of shaky games. Portsmouth, we nearly threw it away, but in the end they did it. But I just think for Liverpool, how big is getting the next points tally? How much of a motivation is it for them to do in front of no fans? You won the title, you just want to celebrate. Yes, guess it will go down in history as the most points ever. But I think maybe coming up to that time, maybe if it was like 2-3 games to go, and then it's on, then maybe they'll just up it. But I think I just feel like they may just slip up afterwards there, because there's nothing major. It's not like another major runner to do. So we could see them just slip away. They've got some tough games. They still got to play Arsenal. So they've got some tough games. They're running. So it's not going to be easy.
Can you pull up their fixtures?
And so they got Man City right as well, right?
Man City. They definitely got Man City.
So we
they got Man City.
Fixtures specifically for Liverpool.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
All right, let me bring that up. Bear with me.
Like the first game back against Everton ain't going to be an easy game. Like I know there's no fans and they're better than Everton, but everyone's rusty. Like a draw is not beyond Everton at all in that kind of game. Because I mean, I'm going to say it's like Goodison Park, but it doesn't really matter where it is, to be honest. In this with the no fans, but yeah, I could easily see that one being a draw. Of course, I would.
So
yeah,
that's
have it. Palace. Man City game. I mean, Man City playing with no fans is home advantage because that's what they do. Villa, Brighton, Burnley. That should all be wins. That's the last. Okay, it's the last one. The only difference is now you got Villa who are fighting for their lives. Brighton are fighting for their lives. There's more. So we got
so Burnley. Because I knew that. So Chelsea one is the
Chelsea, Arsenal. Chelsea, Arsenal. I think Newcastle still fighting down there.
Kind of. Might be right.
Villa, Man City. All those teams are still
like Newcastle are 13th. So
those teams are still fighting.
Sort of all right.
Whereas if Liverpool have won it by the Palace game, for example, do they have the same motivation as the opposition to go and get the result?
You know what I think? I don't think they do it. I think that they get a few draws. And I think, as you said again, I think what is key is the whole fans thing. The fact that it's the lockdown, it's been so long, there are no fans. I think that let's just get through with doing this, and then I don't think there will be that hunger to we really went through. And because I think a big thing, put it this way, if let's say during the Invincible season, halfway through, there were like no fans, Arsenal don't go unbeaten.
Yeah.
I think a big thing was every time they were at Highbury, they were given that energy and they could feel the buzz, and because you can feel the energy of the crowd saying, guys, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. So even if they went to away grounds, every time they went to Highbury, guys were like, my gosh, what? We could be doing something here. And that kind of motivation and everything that you feel from the crowd makes you even focused on doing it. Without that kind of communal thing of the stadium and so forth, it's like you're in a vacuum. And I think even when I'm watching these games, it feels as if they're playing in a vacuum. It really seems that they're just sort of playing for like, okay, this is the fans, and this. So even if you have like a rivalry, it doesn't even feel the same because the fans are because the fans are what really gives the rivalry that's extra spice.
Yeah. Unless you had 22 players who are born and bred in the area, like who's really going to be fighting tooth and nail?
Yeah.
Unless they got maybe they've got like these virtual chants going on. Liverpool, Liverpool, or whatever they sing. You know.
So now, I'm not sure what to make of this super chat, but I'm just going to just pull it up anyway. Rabless. Now, let me just say, I don't know who Abella Danger is. I don't know who that is. I mean, that's quite a special name. So Rabless said, just had a talk to Abella Danger. Rabless, this is a football episode here. When I launch my porn series, you are free to come through it. It will be launching very soon. It's going to be called Life and Freedom. But before Life and Freedom launches, let's please keep it to the football thing. But Rabless, I hope you enjoyed your talk to Abella Danger. Thank you, sir. So let's get on to now where it's now things that get really interesting. Let's get on to where things now get really fully interesting, which is, let's build up, because I think then the main, before we build up to what this is really about, let's just go down. Very simple, guys. Tell me the 3 teams that get relegated.
It's not very simple. That's the thing.
It's not simple. Cool. Go on, Nick.
I mean, Norwich. I think Norwich are down. I don't know. This is because everyone. For example,
for me, I think Brighton gets pulled in. I
want Brighton to get relegated personally.
So do I personally.
For what they've done to Chrissy, Chris and that. Even though my man Potter, they played some decent football. Like they've been bopping the ball around quite good, but they're just not getting the results. So I kind of want them, but I just feel like they'll stay up. For me, I can conceivably see the current bottom 3 going down. Reason that I think Aston Villa are awful at the back, and I just think they're going to concede too many goals to score more. I know Wesley's injured and still not coming back. Samata's done all right, but I just feel like I don't think they have enough. And then for me, then it's up to like, I think Watford can pull through with Star and Deeney and them. Bournemouth, I just don't know. You don't know what Bournemouth's going to turn up.
Bournemouth had a lot of injuries this season. And I know a number of people like David Brooks, for example, he's going to be coming back. I don't know the rest of their squad, so that because I said they struggled with injuries. I do think, like what I said, Watford was on good form before this.
They beat Liverpool, so
those things can just like flip. But I think they've got the manager and the mentality in terms of the players to get out of it. I think Bournemouth and West Ham might be fighting over one position.
Yeah, basically, we can rule Southampton out, so they're good.
Yeah.
Brighton, I think it's from 15 down. From 15 down is where it's a dogfight. Okay, so guys, so give me 3 teams. Basically, I'll start first. My 3 teams, I'm going to say Norwich, Villa, Brighton. Those are my 3 teams. Nix?
I'm going to go Norwich, Villa, and West Ham.
Oh, West Ham, wow.
I'm going Norwich, Villa, Bournemouth.
Okay, so guys, let's now get down to what's going on now. This is pretty much the crux of the show, because Liverpool pretty much took a crap on the entire league. It's about the top 4 here. So where do I even start? Let me start by saying this. Let me start by saying this. Do you guys think Leicester City are in danger?
Put Man City into the picture, please, because we need to talk about Champions League as well, innit?
Trust.
But anyway, carry on. Do you think Leicester's in danger?
So do you think Leicester City? So let me come to Nick's first. So do you think Leicester City are in danger of losing that top 4, or do you think they're good? So are they in the top 4 dogfight? Leicester?
No, I think 8 points. They're 8 points clear of Manchester United. I don't know how Man I can claw back 8 points on Leicester, or specifically Man United and Chelsea have to claw back 5 and 8 points to knock Leicester out. I can't see that happening because, yes, we've got a fairly comfortable run, but that's 3 losses. And we have to therefore like win nearly every game. And that's not guaranteed. Regardless, lockdown, no lockdown, easy fixture, no easy fixture. Wolves ain't catching them. Sheffield ain't catching them. I can tell you that for a fact. And I know Sheffield got a game in hand, but they're not catching them. I can't see us losing or Leicester losing 3 more games than us this season for the rest of the 9 games. So I think Leicester, even though they might finish 4th, I think they will be within the top 4.
Just wait. Let me just look at what. Sorry, Leicester's games are. Okay, so Watford, Brighton, Chelsea. That's a key one. Everton. These are winnable games.
Yeah.
The only game I think that is tricky for them is the Chelsea game. Maybe the Everton game, maybe that's the game, but these are winnable games.
Let's see the next. I think there's some more. Click on the.
Okay.
Couple.
They got a tough end.
Keep going. Bournemouth. Nah, man. Oh.
Sheffield United.
Man United.
Tottenham. Okay, and
so if you think about it, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, Man United are the 4 biggies that they got to play. But even then, Leicester can play in a big game.
They can.
They got big. Jamie Vardy's a big game player, so I wouldn't even rule them out.
If they get 2 draws out of those 4 games you just listed, that should be enough because they could lose the other 2 and still have another game to play with ahead of Man United. Man United would have to win every game this season, I think, if we're going to go past Leicester. And I can't see that happen. I really can't.
Okay, I mean, basically, for me, I think they're good. But I think they're good because, you see, it's hard to say because I don't know what people's form will be coming into this after this lockdown. Because if their form is the same as what it's been before the lockdown, I think they're good because I just think Chelsea, United, Wolves, they've just been up and down, up and down, up and down. And Leicester just need 3 wins. I think 3 wins and they're good. 3 wins, I think 9 points, and I think they're good. And I think the results will take care of themselves to maintain that. So let's now go down to the dogfight now. I mean, look, so this is what I believe. So Chelsea, United, Wolves, Sheffield United, Spurs, and I would squeeze in Arsenal. Burnley, I think this is where we can. Do you agree? We cut off here, Burnley.
I mean, I personally can cut off higher, but yeah, for the sake of the video, let's cut off at 9.
No, because look, see, so Arsenal is 8 points with 10 games to go. Well, 11 for them. No. That's not. I mean, 8 points is nothing.
Well, Man City, I can't see them beating Man City. So with 9 games to go, they're going to be 8 to 7 points, 7 to 8 points off 4th. Arsenal ain't doing that because there's not. You're not just 8 points off 4th. You're also, 1 point off 8th. You're 5 points off 6th. 4 points. So you have to want all of those teams will have to drop points. In 1 game week or 2 game weeks in a row or something like that, and Arsenal have to win. Yeah, and they're just clarifying in the chat that Leicester versus Chelsea.
Cup. Yeah. Leicester versus Chelsea. FA Cup. Oh, cheers, thank you. Yeah, well, it's quarters, isn't it? Or semis? It's
quarters.
Quarters.
FA Cup. Forgot about that. Yeah.
I can't see Arsenal. I mean, you can pull up Arsenal's fixtures, but the Man City game, I'm writing that off. I'm personally writing that off. I can't see them beating Man City. I can't see them getting anything against Man City.
So City, Brighton away,
win.
Southampton. Yeah, okay. It's you see, that's I think could be an L. I mean, we'll obviously discuss that in detail later, but that could be an L. That's a tricky one away. I don't think they win that.
Is that
FA Cup? That's FA Cup. Sheffield United FA Cup.
That's FA Cup. I don't think they win that.
That's tough.
That's tough.
That's tough. That's
North London derby, baby.
Arsenal ain't getting 4th. I can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at these fixtures, I mean, Ramon. Okay, I mean, Ramon, what do you think? I mean, what's your feeling? Do you think seeing these fixtures, do you think it's possible or?
Listen, be lucky to get Europa League this year. Be lucky to get
Whoa.
Europa League this year. I'm telling you, you can't rule. As Nick said, you look at that league table, you cannot rule out Arsenal finishing above Wolves, above Spurs, and if the form ain't great, above Sheffield United. You can't rule it out. So why am I even? I can't even look up. I can't even see top four from where I am right now. I'm looking at a Europa League potential. All we've got to hang on to is the potential that Man City get kicked out. You know, in a couple of weeks' time, they get kicked out of next year's Champions League, and then fifth place up for grabs. I think if you're looking at fifth place, where Man United is, which is 5 points and a game in hand, and even if you get a draw at Man City, then you're looking at 4 points. You're thinking, okay, that's more achievable. That's more. But even then, so many games, so many teams in between, and the form of Arsenal this season, nothing's going to make you think they're going to go and win the next 8 games. You know, so. For me, as I said, I've ruled out Champions League, and Europa League is a bonus. That's where you have to be realistic. No point in me trying to fight it.
Okay, so now let me rep for the 2012 Champions League winners. Let me rep for the 2018 European Cup winners. So for Chelsea, look, it's been up and down. It's been up and down, but we've got this Scottish dude called Gilmore who will change the world. He will change the world. So let's just look at Chelsea's fixtures. Cancelled? What do you mean by cancelled? It's not cancelled. What's still happening? What the hell?
Cancelled. You're out.
Get it right. What the hell? Cancelled my ass. So Villa, Man City, West Ham, Watford, at home, Palace. You see,
Liverpool now, last 2 games.
This could be vital. This could be key. Because if Wolves maintain a form, this could be a very key game, not only for both these teams, but for everyone else, including United. But see, my thing about it is that if we're looking at this right now, if this is just my prediction, I think can get a dub there. That can go either way. That can go either way. No. So that's FA Cup. Should get a dub there. Should get a dub there. Potentially should. I have no idea. This could either be a draw or a loss. I think that's a win. That could be a win. Based on where Liverpool are at, what the mindset that could. So for me, if I'm looking at it right now,
hey, you're not going to win the league this year.
What?
So you're going to win the league. You might.
Yeah, of course. Wait. What do you think? Why do I? What do you think? That was the point of this whole video. We're going to win the league, man. So okay. So do you think Chelsea, based on fixtures, get that top 4? Oh, wait. Come on. Let me just say this. So it says that Liverpool, City, United. We'll get to United and Spurs. We'll get to United and Tottenham. So with regards to Chelsea, do you think they're good, or do you think it's going to be a dogfight for them, or they may slip out? Because 3 points ain't nothing, 5 points ain't nothing. So I mean, this is tight. Because Sheffield United, Wolves, they're 5 points behind. United, they're 3 points behind. So actually, any slippage, Chelsea are in trouble.
Listen, it's a Chelsea in a dogfight, a massive dogfight. And to be honest, of all those teams, let's say from 3rd to 7th, Chelsea are the happiest about the break, because Leicester had just got back to form. They were on a bad run. Vardy hadn't scored since like December, and they just got back to form. Sheffield United were on form. Man United were on good form. I can't remember exactly Wolves' form. Chelsea needed that break, and then they had the injuries as well. Man United, at the time of the break, I was so sure that we're going to go past Chelsea. That the break could do very well for Chelsea, but they're definitely in a dogfight, definitely.
Ramon?
Yeah, it's going to be close. I think it will probably end up being between Chelsea and Man United coming to the end of the season. I think the others may not be there. But it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough. And I think even some of those wins you're saying wins, when you look at it on paper, it looks good. But as you said, some of them teams are going to be fighting for their lives as well. So it's not going to be
like every game is hard, because either you're playing a game for a team going for top 4. We're playing guys trying to fight for survival. So every game is going to be facing a team that wants to beat you.
Yeah, and everyone's got mostly fit squads now as well. So, it's like a fresh start for everyone.
And Chelsea's home form, especially against
that's the problem, man.
Was poor. They couldn't break down. That's why you've gone out to buy the attackers that you have. They've been struggling to break down defensive teams all season. So, and you're still, you're not starting the last 9 games with Werner up front. It's still Giroud and Tammy fighting over a spot with Michi warming the bench for everyone else. But
I think you have to balance it, because I think they had some good spells in the season as well. When the likes of Mount, Tammy, Tomori were sort of playing at the start, and it looked like they were getting on a run of form, which is why they're 4th at the moment. Let's not forget they are the team in control in the 4th spot. They've had some bad times, but they've had some good results to get where they are now. This probably surprised me more than I thought they would, with the amount of kids that they're putting in. And I think it's all about how those kids then sort of carry them through to the end of the season, really.
Okay, so let me just hear the super chat. Thank you, Mrs. HH hates Neymar. I don't. Wait. Where do you guys get all these thoughts from? Chelsea are finishing below Arsenal. You're smoking crack. That is literally impossible. So, and I think if Ramon, a staunch 100-year Arsenal supporter, will say that's not happening.
Impossible.
Look, we'll talk about Arsenal. We'll talk about Arsenal Man City. We're going to talk about it, but let's just deal with the top 4. So let's come now to Boychester divided. No, I mean Manchester United. Sorry, slip of the tongue there. So let's look at their fixtures. So they're 3 points off from Chelsea. First of all, I think this is a lie. I don't know how the hell they're 45 points based on. So I need to check the fixtures, because I told you mathematics is overrated. Read beyond the numbers. So let me just check it through. So let's see what these guys have. So Tottenham away, Sheffield United. Is this the FA Cup game?
No. That's the Premier League. Norwich is the FA Cup game.
Okay. So Tottenham away, Sheffield United at home, Brighton away, Bournemouth at home, Villa away, Southampton home, Palace away. You see, before I give it to Knicks, this is good. I mean, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this in detail. This can go either way. Apart from that, United have winnable fixtures. And I mean, the only one then the Leicester City one is the final one where it's like, okay, we never know. But apart from that, West Ham, remember, as Ramon said, on paper, it'll be different. In action, you never know, because Southampton, they're fine. West Ham are fighting for the survival. Villa are fighting for the survival. Bournemouth are fighting for the survival. So, but these are winnable games. So United have a long run of games in which they should really be picking up points upon points upon points. But that's just on face value. So, Nicks, are you confident that your boys will say what's up? Be objective.
With my boys flanking me, I think I'm in good stead. But you know what? As I said, before the break, I was very, very confident of getting top 4. The form that we were in, the upcoming fixtures, very, very confident. Now it's hard to say, because we don't know how everyone's going to restart. The teams that we're fighting against, as I said, Chelsea, Spurs, for example, they had a lot of injuries at the time. Both of them got their players back. It's a different proposition. Granted, we've also got some of our players back, the likes of Pogba, the likes of Rashford. But I put like this, like last season, where we got into a position where the games were there to win. And it wasn't just us, to be fair. Arsenal were there, Chelsea, Spurs. And it was like, top 4 is there if you want it. And nobody really wanted it. And it was like, Chelsea didn't want it the least, therefore they got it. The fixtures are there for Manchester United. And if we are not good enough, if we don't get top 4 based on the fixtures, it just means we ain't good enough. We are just frankly not good enough. We put ourselves in the position, i.e. we've played a lot of the big teams, most of the big teams already, barring Spurs, you might say. I know Leicester are the last game of the season, and we're just outside the Champions League positions. if we are not good enough to follow through with that, then it just highlights how bad we are as a team, as a club right now. So listen, it's out there for us. It is for me. I'm not gonna say we're in the best position because obviously being in the fourth place is the prize position, but right now I wouldn't trade our position and fixtures for like for Chelsea, for example. I would rather be in our position with the fixtures that we've got than in Chelsea's with the fixtures they got, and it's up to us to go and get it.
So Ramon.
Yeah, I mean, as Nick said, I think Man United had the form. You know, beating Man City, don't forget, before lockdown, in a game that people thought Man City had, you know, would have won, and all of a sudden, it looks like they were kind of clawing things back. I don't know. I still don't know if they got enough. You know, I think it's going to be tough, and it's going to be very close. And I think we're probably looking as you guys said already to the last couple of games of the season, and it could even be a last day. It could even be a last day finish. Could even go down to the 94th kind of thing.
So actually, let me just address this. So first of all, Ramon, do you think you're a clown? Because according to this guy, he thinks that you're a clown because of your bitterness against Liverpool. So let me ask you guys this. Why are you so bitter against the soon-to-be 2019-2020 Premier League champions? Please explain yourselves. Why the bitterness?
I'm not bitter at all in the slightest. You know, but I just say it how it is. It's the reality. The COVIDs of 2020. Like, congratulations. You are the COVID 2020 champions. I've got nothing against them. They played well. They've done great. They didn't go unbeaten, but that's okay. Like, not everyone can go unbeaten, and they didn't. I've got nothing against Liverpool. I wish you the best for the next 8 games of the season, and I actually hope you win the league this season. You know, there's no guarantees in football, but you know, in the COVID 2020 season, no one will forget it. I've got no hatred towards Liverpool, apart from the fact that they're my Premier League rivals, and I hope that we beat them. In fact, I hope we batter them this season. Why not? I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I've got nothing against you. Well done. You won the league nearly during the pandemic.
Nick?
I'm a Man United fan, and I'm not supposed to like Liverpool. If you came here expecting me to like Liverpool, then you're on the wrong channel. But stay anyway. Stay. No, we don't want to turn anyone away.
So let's look at Tottenham. Yedori, we'll get to Wolves and everything, but we're just looking at the sort of sides with the big managers and so forth. Oh yeah, by the way, I think I already mentioned this to you guys. Have you guys ever been to Tottenham Stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that thing is huge.
The
stadium is off the chain. Like what? Basically, it's like a spaceship. Like no, I'm not. I was like, this is like a flipping.
It comes around
a hotel.
It's crazy. It comes around to the high road. It's like it doesn't even fit in at Tottenham, to be honest. If you know the area.
And
do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny? Let's get to Rachel for a bit. I look at the stadium. I look at what it is. I know what the prices is, and I'm looking at all of the people that surround it. I look at the shops. I look at the flight. I say, do you know most of these people here cannot afford to get into this stadium because there's such a disparity between the stadium, what it looks like and everything, and the surroundings that are around us. That is because obviously 99.9% of the people who come into the stadium don't live in this flipping area. And so that's also interesting.
Same thing with Man City Stadium, to be fair. Plonked into this place. It's like a deserted area. No one around it. Doesn't look like anyone will want to go inside it. And then you got this massive.
So side says, screw Liverpool. This city, the club, the fans. Whoa, side. I said again, you don't want to anger Liverpool fans. These guys are psychopaths. So trust me. So let's look at Tottenham's thing. Your boy Uncle Mo. We need to give Uncle Mo his support. So West Ham, Sheffield United, Everton. I believe they're not in there. Yeah, they're not there. Yeah, Bournemouth, Arsenal, Newcastle, Leicester, Palace.
What's the first two? West Ham, Sheffield. See, the Sheffield game, tough. Everton game, tough. Go down again. Arsenal, tough. And there's one more.
Tricky.
Right.
This is tricky.
What was the first? Oh, no, Leicester. Leicester as well. Tough. And the West Ham game ain't going to be easy. First game back. It's a big rivalry. West Ham. So they've got, I'm saying, 4 tough games plus West Ham. Yeah, they're two.
It's. I mean, look, they have Kane and Son back. Man
United is before West Ham, isn't it? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, no.
That's a big game. I mean, Man United win that game. We could be talking. That's it. We could be talking. That's it.
It is. Spurs have to win. I'm saying what? They're 7 points off Chelsea. They need to win probably pretty much eight games if they're going to get top 4. 7 games minimum.
Yeah, for me, it's too far. It's too far, and also you have to think about are they good enough to get that run? Yes, they got Kane back. Yes, they got Son back.
That's key.
Back.
Those are 2 key guys. Because, see, for me, it's like, look, if without those guys, they were screwed. But with those guys, it
gives them a chance. But hope the whole season with them guys, they've not been great. I've seen them play against Chelsea when Son lost his head. I've seen games when they've all played in those games and they still lost before Jose and after Jose. You know, so as much as we talk about those players coming back, yes, it gives them a boost, but you know they've not been. It's not been the same Spurs that we saw last year get to the Champions League final. You know, it looks completely different right now, and I kind of think they need the season to end and refresh and go next year. I can't see them doing it. I don't think they're good enough.
Ndombele, is he going to be fit? I don't mean fit in terms of.
Doesn't Mourinho have beef with him?
Well, that's what I say. When I say fit, I don't mean not injured, but is he going to be able to actually get up and down the pitch? He was out training in the public park at one point during lockdown. So it'd be interesting, isn't it? Because I think Jose has to get the best out of Ndombele for his own reputation. He's got a lot of stick in recent years. You know, when he's kind of stopped winning the big trophies, about the people looking more in depth in terms of how he manages players and bringing through young players, etc. He needs to get the best out of Ndombele. And of course, if he wins a trophy with Spurs, it doesn't matter who he gets the best out of. But they're already out FA Cup this year. What are they going to win next year? I think that's going to be massive for him, especially in this era of football, because everyone knows that he's a talent in Ndombele, and all eyes are on Jose.
I'll just take a few super chats and we'll just clean up this top 4.
Sissoko back, isn't it?
Who? Sissoko.
Sissoko was out, wasn't he?
He's back.
Yeah,
he's still at Tottenham.
Isn't Sissoko? Yeah. They miss him. They miss him when he's gone. I don't remember him like that.
He is a almighty brick in the final third, but
it's not his job to be in the final.
Wait a minute, wasn't?
Then why is he there? Tell him to get out of there. Then
I think there was an episode we had back at that studio.
Say again?
Was it you or Ramon who said put respect on Sissoko's name?
I put him in the half team of the year. It was about 6 months, and I said Sissoko's in my team of the year. This was long.
Oh yeah, and I saw you were spoken crack when he said that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait. Then did he go to the? Wait, was he in the France squad in the World Cup? I can't remember.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was in
Euros.
2016, and his mistake led to.
And it was brilliant at Europe.
So let's just hit the super chat. So said correction. Shout out to Everton, Rooney. Look, I've already given my thoughts on Rooney. I'd never rated that dude, and I think that guy was overrated. I don't think he was as good as people think he is. I know United fans, you rate him. He's a United legend. He was never world class.
The whole world rates him apart from you.
Sure. The White Pele. So you know what's crazy? We either drew or lost to the remaining clubs we have left in our fixture. I completely forgot. Is this true?
Well, we beat Spurs. I know that. I don't know the rest. I can't say for sure.
Man United.
What we drew?
Did you lose to Sheffield United?
We drew 3-3. We drew 3-3.
Almost lost that.
I mean, we almost won it. You mean we're 3-2 up with like a couple of minutes left?
Oh.
Villa we drew. Bournemouth, I can't remember the Bournemouth game. Palace we lost. Southampton we drew. Can't remember. West Ham we lost, I believe.
So maybe he's right.
And Leicester, I can't remember.
Leicester
we won. 1-0. Begin the season.
Okay, so let's just finish off this top 4 things. Let's look at Wolves and Sheffield United. 2 teams that have surprised everyone, and we cannot ignore them. Now, let me be real with you. Now, and people say I'm rude when I say this. And again, I'm not being disrespectful. I am not being disrespectful. I just think that it would be very odd if I see either Messi or Benzema pull up at Sheffield United Stadium with the Champions League theme playing.
Bro, they pulled up at worse. They pulled up at much worse than Sheffield United.
No, the truth. No, but still, look. Let me keep it real. If Sheffield United make it, that would be an amazing story. Because for me, I already feel that homeboy. What's his name? Is it Wilder? Yeah, Wilder should be named manager of the year. What he's done
if they get Champions League. If they don't get Champions League, I don't think you can give him that.
No, I think he has to get Champions League to give him manager of the year.
Okay, so if he doesn't get Champions League, what, you give it to Klopp?
Yeah.
Might as well not.
Okay. So Wolves or Sheffield United, do either of these guys get the top 4?
I mean, listen, Sheffield United got a game in hand. If they beat Aston Villa, then they're in 5th place come the weekend, come all fixtures already. So you can't rule them out. It's just about, I don't think they'll sustain it. I think they've got tough fixtures from what I've seen. I think they've got to play Man United as well, don't they?
Yeah.
And Dean Henderson, the goalkeeper, obviously can't play. So that'll be, I think if Man United beat them, then maybe that may just seal it for them. But the way they've been playing this season, they've been solid. They've been solid at the back. They've got goals in the team. You have to give them credit. But
they're doing. Everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah, everyone knows their job, and everyone knows that. I think it benefited them just keeping the same system as they've had in the Championship, and just working with the same sort of players, bringing in a couple more players to help them. But all they need, really, I mean, Europa League's a massive success for them.
Yeah.
Massive. So I don't think they'll be getting hell for level for the Champions League, but they're in a great position right now, man.
You know what? And I'd actually love to see them in European football for the way they play. Because I was obviously we've all marveled at their 3 at the back and their overlapping centre backs. And I was watching some videos recently, and this obviously Wilder's being, I say, credited. I mean, you have to credit the coach to get this out of the players, but this overlapping centre backs thing is actually a throwback to I think it's like the 1930s or something like that. I can't remember the team now that did it, but no one had done it since. And he brought this. They say nothing's new under the sun, innit? So he just brought this back. And we ain't seen this in world football since. So I would love to see.
Was it Napoli? I feel like it was Napoli for some reason.
It could have been. So I was thinking Italy, but it could have been an Italian team. I'm not sure. But so it'll be interesting to see this tactic in European football. Because the thing when it comes to Champions League and Europa League, especially we're over here, a lot of the teams that we see, especially maybe say 5-10 years ago, 10 years ago, when internet wasn't as accessible. It's like, oh, this new team, how do they play? What players they've got? Sheffield United would be like that in Europe for all the foreign teams. Oh, these centre backs. Where's Baldock going? Where's Egan going? How are they overlapping their fullbacks? And so it'll be interesting to see how they cope and how they match up against European teams, whether that's in the Champions League or Europa League.
And they've got a team that you don't feel like no one's going to come and take them. I can't see a Man City Liverpool swooping for Egan and Lundstrom and Baldock. They look like they're just going to stay together. So if they do,
no, because you hope that it's not like a flash in the pan, like this is just like a one season thing. Because I feel like this is just basically sort of remember when Ipswich Town got 4th. and then afterwards, like no one even ahead of them. So it's whether they can sustain this is going to be key. So let's look at some games.
But then if you look at Wolves, as we're gonna talk about in a minute, look at they're still in Europe right now. They're still in Europa League. Again, playing with a 5 at the back as well, or 3 at the back, 3-4-3. And they've improved from last year. Bruno Traore stepped up his game, even Jimenez and Jota. So that
I love Wolves, man. I mean, like, Wolves are like they're like one of my favorite teams to watch. Wolves.
They've got actually great, and they've got good individual players as well, like Neves and Moutinho. That obviously they got the sort of Portuguese blend in their squad, and they're a team that if they continue in Europe and they continue investing in that squad, especially in the Portuguese league, seems like a lot of their players want to go in. We could be seeing Wolves start to climb.
It'll be interesting if, come the summer, any of their players. Cause we've heard talk about Jimenez, whether he might be going. Neves, I think people spoke about him last year. Man City, that kind of thing. Their players are more likely to be targeted because on individual level, they've got that quality that on compared to Sheffield United on an individual level, their players don't. And even the manager, Nuno Espirito Santo, he could be targeted by someone. Whether it's in the Premier League or in Europe, but considering everything, I think they've built this Portuguese family, so to speak, at Wolves, and I'm sure they're getting paid a decent amount of money because the owner's got a decent amount of money, so they might just be comfortable saying, you know what, we'll just be here for a little while. Neves is young, so he's not in a rush to, for example. So it'll be interesting. I can't see them getting top 4.
So let's look at two key games from this week. Then we'll maybe take a few questions at the end. So, Man City Arsenal. You see, City should win, and people expect City to win, but I don't know, because for me, I think that it's hard to predict this because these are different times and so forth, and you really want to see how do things look in the first 10 minutes. Now, the fact of the matter is that we are living in a. I mean, like when we look at the Bundesliga, we just thought La Liga right now. Real Madrid looks great. Barcelona looks pretty damn good. Bayern Munich looks pretty damn good. So I don't think the lockdown seems to have played that much of an effect of most of these teams on their first game back. So if that is the case, expect City to pretty comfortably win this game. But let me come to Ramsey then. What's your feeling? What?
Barcelona played Mallorca.
Real Mallorca. Say it right. Put some respect to the name. Real Mallorca.
18th place, Real Mallorca. I don't think you can compare that to Arsenal. Who did Bayern play in their first game? Because when they played...
I think it was Union Berlin or something.
Yeah. When Dortmund played Bayern...
Schalke. No,
so when Dortmund played Bayern, it weren't a breeze in the park. It wasn't so yeah, I don't think you can look at Real Madrid and Barca as a kind of a comparison to see how teams are going to fare. It was Real Mallorca, and that Hazard assist don't really count, to be honest. But anyway,
yeah, sure. I had that slight dig. So, Ram, do you have confidence in your boys in saying what's up to City, or do you think this is an L in waiting?
Yeah, I mean, you want to go in confident, sort of coming back, and again, not knowing what's going to happen elsewhere. Obviously, one of the first games to come back, it's going to be new for everyone. So you're kind of hoping that it plays into our part. And I think, would I have rather played it just before the pandemic or just as it started? I'd probably say just as it started because, as I said, Man City just lost to Man United. They probably want a bit of revenge, come back and just wipe the floor of the next team. So I'd probably choose to have it this side. With the 5 subs as well coming into play, be more stoppages, be more sort of changes going around. And the weird thing is, I ain't seen no talk about Man City friendlies. Everyone's talking about how Arsenal lost one friendly and won one friendly convincingly. Not one. I didn't see. I've tried to find it. I can't find anything. I don't know if anyone in the comments have found it, but I can't see nothing about Man City.
Nobody cares.
Man City, but I mean, they could have lost 5-0 and just kept it on the down low. That's probably Pep. Probably Pep.
They ain't got no fans. Who's tweeting about them?
I heard that. I heard that.
Leaks
I heard that. I heard that. I heard that.
reacts.
But I,
Yeah.
and I think we'll lose. I don't think it will be convincing. I don't think it will be like a battering. I hope it's not a battering. If it was a battering, our season's done at it. Our season's done anyway. But if it's a battering, we got no chance looking forward. But I think we'll. And again, the only thing that's in our favor is everyone expects us to lose coming into the game. Obviously, there's the added spice of the protege Arteta, against the man he trained him.
Maybe
So
that's a slight advantage. Having Arteta there where he knows this team inside and out, that could be a slight advantage.
It could be, or it could be that the Pep knows Arteta very well and knows exactly what he wants. So I think we'll find out on the result. But it definitely both managers will be talking about each other to their teammates. And Arteta knew these Man City players one-on-one. He's worked very close with Sterling. He's already mentioned it. So, and if you look at the Man City documentary that they put out, he was very vocal in that dressing room to a lot of the Man City players. So, I think it's gonna be an interesting game to see. The first big game of the comeback. And if Arsenal do get a point, it could be something going forward towards the end of the season that you could take through. FA Cup still to play for.
Nix.
Well, listen, I think the 5 subs thing, I think will play into Man City's hand more than anyone else because their squad is so big. And the question is always who's going to play, what position, blah, blah, blah. We know Pep loves rotation, Pep roulette. He loves it. So the 5 subs, it's not working. Let's throw on Jesus. It's not working. Let's throw on Sane. Forget Sane's back. Let's throw on this guy. Let's throw on that guy. Whereas in certain clubs, including Arsenal, including Man United, whatever, when you start digging past 3 subs, your team's probably worse than it was than the game that you started. You're thinking, you know what? Let me just play the tired Matic because I don't want to bring Pereira or Lingard. So the 5 subs I could think of play more into Man City's hands than ever.
At the same time, though, I think with Arsenal's squad, because there isn't many standout players, there's probably about 4 or 5 players you can probably guarantee that will start the game. The others are literally up in the air. I couldn't even confirm a guaranteed starting lineup for you, which it plays.
We have a boy Martinelli though, which I like.
But he's not guaranteed to start because Aubameyang's played the last 2 friendlies on the left wing. Arteta's played Aubameyang left wing every game since he's been here. He's not played him up top. So for me, unless Martinelli's going up top, which he hasn't played again in the friendlies, I can't see that happening. You got Eddie and Nketiah and Lacazette. Either of them could start. Nelson and Pepe. There's not a guarantee there. So there's a lot of potential in some of the players. But at the same time, it could be a free for one. It may play into some of these players' hands. People got an opportunity now to stake a claim, going forward for Arsenal to try and prove that they're the main guy. Eddie can he be Arsenal's main guy going forward? There's places up for grabs. So one of the weirdest things is that it seems that Mustafi's getting his minutes back in Arteta's squad, so he looks like he's going to be starting on the right side of centre back. Boy, I have no idea what team he's going to pick.
What's happening with David Luiz? I don't know. I've heard a lot of stuff.
I think he's confirmed to leave. I believe.
No, his contract. He's got a 1-year deal. We signed him on a 1-year deal from Chelsea. Apparently, it was reported a 2-year, but it was actually a 1-year option to extend it for a further year. I don't think he will actually leave. I think they'll give him a contract. It's just not been given to him yet. The talks around Arsenal is that Arteta does like him as a leader. But also the weird thing is that he's brought Mari in, who's also a left-sided centre back. So is that the replacement for David Luiz? Put it like this: I think in terms of leadership,
is Mari the South American?
Yeah, South American from Flamengo.
Is there anything that you got coming?
So is it? Are we headed into an AFTV and chill kind of game? Well, actually, wait. Well, it can't. Well, this is going to be a different AFTV because remember, this is AFTV in lockdown. So you'll probably, because I think Rob is going to do it like via live, so it won't be the classic ads. Yeah. So it will feel different. It will feel different. So, but look, I don't think it's going to be a 5-0 or a 6-0. And as Robin says, I hope, because if it's 5 or 6-0, then I think that they can say, because it will be so soul crushing. I think they can then just say goodbye to them finishing anywhere near. So Tottenham against Man United. Now,
Huge.
if this game was played earlier on this season, this would have been a win for United for sure. So of course United have the Nigerian Batistuta as their striker and so forth. But Kane and Son are back.
Is that Igalo?
Wait, who else? What was it? I said I don't know who Igalo is. I know who the Nigerian Batistuta is. Okay, so all has been forgiven for 2018, somewhat. So this is a very interesting game because of Kane and Son coming back. Did you hear what Mourinho said about your boy?
No.
That he's out of his depth.
Who?
That Solskjaer is out of his depth.
Mourinho chat too much, innit? Mourinho had.
That's what said. What's said?
He had the seat and he lost the seat. Keep it moving, innit? Keep it moving.
Okay. So what do you think then, Nix, for this?
Before I go on, just quickly, Ramon, the guy Saliba, the centre back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Coming back as well. Coming, should I say?
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting, but we've got many centre backs: Socrates, Holding, Chambers, Louise, Mari, Mustafi. So
coming back.
Options, man. We're gonna be a defensive unit next season, boy.
But yeah, on Spurs, Man United. Listen, the question is, has Jose learned? And I say that because when they came to Old Trafford in, I want to say December, but I can't remember exactly. I think it was December. Most people said Spurs going to win. They were on this good run of form after Jose came. I don't think we were on a great run of form. We hadn't really been on a good run of form at all. Just after January, since Bruno Fernandes joined, to be fair. And everyone pretty much thought we would lose to Man City and Spurs back to back. And his tactics, the way the team played, it was very poor. He sat back and was playing just long ball football. Now, the question is, has he learned from that? If they come with that same football, we're winning the game. We are winning it. I'm confident that. If he lets the players, the likes of Kane, Moura, Bergwijn, Son, go out and do their job, that means I would say starting 3 out of those 4, because you would probably want to leave one of them on the bench. Then I think they could. I think they could get something out of the game. I'm gonna back us at least not to lose the game. I don't think we're gonna lose the game. I think the confidence, obviously, before the break.
So either a draw or a United win.
Yeah. The confidence before going into the break was high. All the noise is coming out from the camp in terms of training, fitness, how we've played in the 2 friendly games against West Brom. Not watching the results per se, but in terms of how we played, all the news that spirits are high. Rashford is apparently looking on fire, for example. So I would be surprised if after all of that, we went and lost to Spurs. I'll be very surprised. So I'm back.
So give me a score.
I'll put my neck out on the line and say 2-1 Man United.
Ramon?
Yeah, interesting. I think as much as it is a big game for Spurs to win, Man United as well, with Chelsea playing Villa on the weekend, they want to just try and show something a bit more. But again, Kane, Son, Pogba, Rashford, all back, changes everything. Where is it? Is that Spurs?
Is that Spurs? Yeah.
Yeah. Spurs.
In that massive stadium with no fans. I think I'm gonna go for draw. I'm gonna go for a 1-1 in that game. I think it will be tight. I think again, nobody wants to lose that game. Nobody wants to lose, and I think it will be about who wants it more in the last sort of 20 minutes or so. The subs may be 1-1. The subs may be important. It could be the game for the.
All right, so let's just take a few. Next week. Oh, what did you say, Nix?
No, I said it might be the game for the Nigerian Batistuta.
Could be. Could be.
Look, man, I've got to support my country, man. I've got to rep my country.
I'll get you my United shirt.
And I also think no Dele Alli.
Oh yeah,
no Dele Alli for the game. Obviously, he posted about the coronavirus and he's been banned for a game and fined 50k. So I think that may play into Spurs' hands because
what did he actually do exactly?
He posted a video on social media of an Asian man basically signaling that he got coronavirus. Basically, yeah, it was poor. It was poor from him.
So it says that. So if I was Arsenal, I'll play 9 centre backs and Aubameyang. Do you think it's good? How would you approach the game? Full on the defense, go out and attack them. What is the best way for Arsenal to deal with these dudes?
It's obviously a balance. I mean, big news that Arteta come out and said he was quite confident that Aubameyang's going to sign a new deal today. That gives Arsenal fans a bit of confidence that we've got maybe him for at least another year. The way Arteta looks like he's been playing is going for like a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 if he uses Ozil. And as I said, keeping Aubameyang wide. He's sticking to his guns on that. They've got to be more reserved. I've said it for the past sort of few weeks. I think we need to go 4-3-3 as a mantra going forward. Just because we're not solid enough in the middle of the park. And so that may mean Ozil not playing. Ceballos has had a lot more of a run-in of late. So I agree we need to be more defensive. I don't know if 9 centre-backs is the case, but I think we need to just be more wary of City than we have been in the past. Emery just goes to play City like it was Bolton Wanderers and expect to just wipe them, go attack for attack. It's not going to happen.
All right, so let's just have this question that we can get it here. Who are the most overrated players of each league? Wow.
Premier League, I'm gonna say Jordan Henderson.
Wow.
So when you're talking about this is a certain man, they're saying like, Pogba wouldn't get into the team ahead of Henderson player of the year, blah blah. And obviously Liverpool fans, we know they make the most noise. So in added to that, the fact that which player is talked about more higher than they should. Because there's other people like Loftus-Cheek, for example, for me, but Chelsea fans are not as loud.
How can you? Why are you talking about a man who is injured? Let him come. He scored 2 Gs against QPR. 7-1 friendly win. 7-1 friendly win. Villa were coming for you Sunday. Relax, chill.
So yeah, I'm gonna say Henderson of the Premier League. Messi in La Liga. No, I'm joking, man, guys.
Say it with the chest, man. Say it with the chest, man.
Yeah, I'll do the Premier League. I don't know about the overrated in the others.
All right, I got a question on that, right?
Okay.
Based on what we've seen so far in output and what we've discovered and the amount of people that talk about it, and I know we're going to get an opinion, but is widely rated Neymar overrated? Of the wider aspects of how much he's been spoken about, how much people rate him to how much he actually performs on the pitch. Does he become overrated?
You see, my thing with Neymar, and I'm sure just best thing is probably having a baby right now because the guy's obsessed with that dude. When he is fit and he plays, he is that good. That's the thing. It's just that he's hardly ever fit. He plays it in Uber Eats. And it's there for him because they say, okay, look, it's Uber Eats. But the thing, Ramon, and this is the issue with Neymar, is that the 2 times PSG have gone out, he's not been on the pitch when they went out in that key game. So we've not seen Neymar fully be with PSG all the way through a Champions League campaign, which is where he's judged. But when he is fit and he is playing, he is that good. Like he is that bloody good. So it's just that we've just not seen him be fit and coming in these key games, which is annoying because this is really now his peak. And my fear is that when all is said and done, he won't win a World Cup. He won't win a Copa America and be like, okay, what did you really apart from that treble?
Yeah, exactly.
I think when you consider his international record and people say that MSN is the greatest club attacking trio of all time, and he was a part of it, not just like a bystander, or he was fully part of that front three. And as I would say, the treble in 2015. I don't know if we can say he's overrated. Maybe we're living off past glories and maybe he will never get back to that. But because he hasn't had that full season, and as Happo said, in the games where they've gone out of the Champions League, he hasn't been there. So it's not like, when it's actually come down to it, he's not producing the performances that he did in 2015. He's just not on the pitch to produce those. So I will still give it another season or so to say whether or not he's ever going to get back to that like 2015. Maybe 2015 was the peak of his career.
Yeah, I mean, basically, just to run this, I mean, again, it's hard for me to say, but in the Premier League, I mean, I might say Henderson, or I might even say Barkley, but nobody really rates Barkley. Bundesliga, I still say Haaland. He's good, but I don't think he's as good as people think he is. La Liga, Griezmann. He shouldn't be rated at all. The guy, he is the epitome of a side chick. French league, I'll probably say Cavani.
Cavani ain't French league no more, bruv. French league's ended and his contract up. He's gone. he ain't French league no more.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, I think him and Thiago Silva are gone. And I think in the Serie A, I'd say no, Cristiano. I would say Cristiano. I say like, because remember, the key that you being overrated doesn't mean that you're rubbish.
Well, you think he's rubbish though, so
No. I've never said Cristiano's rubbish. I just said Cristiano is an amazing goal scorer, but people call him. In today, people still consider him one of the best players in the world. Which no, it's wrong. One of the best goal scorers in the world, yes. One of the best players in the world. No, that's false. So overrated players: Kai Havertz, Frankie De Jong, Griezmann. Yeah, I mean, for me, Frankie De Jong is slightly overrated. He's slightly overrated, man.
When people say Lewandowski is one of the best players in the world, that's not an issue. So let's say Cristiano Ronaldo right now is just a goal scorer, but he's a very good goal scorer. So how is that? He's still one of the best players in the world because he's one of the best goal scorers in the world. Right now, he's one of the best goal scorers in the world.
No. Okay, basically, this is maybe just on me because people just think that I'm hating and everything. I can only just go based on how I view it. When I see Lewandowski play and when I see Cristiano play, for me, Lewandowski just plays better than Cristiano does. The way that Lewandowski links to play, his ball control, and just his general footballing performance, I'm like, this guy is performing better and is very key to the attack and how Bayern Munich launch attacks and how he combines with them. But for Cristiano, he literally just scores the goal and that's it. So when I'm watching the games...
Sorry, ball. Sorry.
What's it?
I said, sorry, ball. It's sorry. Sorry is terrible.
No, look, maybe that's the issue because Sarri is still trying to figure out what's with the whole Juve thing, man. So, and maybe that could be the issue with regards to why the team and Cristiano are not flowing well. But because people just see what I find annoying is that it's my view. That's just my view, and people like, oh no, you must say Messi and Cristiano are the best in the world. He says you must say no. I don't have to. I don't have to say Messi is the GOAT. I'm sorry, no, that's not happening. He's the best club player. Yeah, he's cool. He's not touching Maradona or Zidane. That's just my view. So, guys, it's been swell. It's been good. So, any final words, guys? Any final words before you fly away? Any final words for the audience, guys? Remember, like the vid. Any final words?
Yeah, I'm just happy the Premier League's back. To be honest, German league, good. La Liga, decent. But for me, football ain't really back until the Premier League's back in it. The rest has been warming me up. I watched a bit of Bundesliga. I ain't watched it all the weeks. La Liga, the Coppa Italia. I watched those. Getting back to the real big leagues. And yeah, I'm ready now. I'm ready. It's been a long time.
Ramon?
Yeah. It's time to come back now, man. It's been too long. And yeah, I think. Like when you have an international break and you're just eager now to get the season back on. That's what it's like. It's like we've just had the international football with Bundesliga and Serie A, or Serie A cup games, and Spain. But now it's time for the crux. Now it's time for Premier League to finally crown the COVID 2020 Premier League champions. So yeah.
All right, so guys, remember, guys, to follow us on our Patreon page. We've put up a few bits of content. We're posting more content on the Patreon page. I think Devil's Donuts is the latest thing on the Patreon thing right now. So click in the description box below to become a Patreon supporter stuff, as we'll be posting more content with the Premier League coming back. So if you want to follow Nick's on his Twitter page, want to follow Ramon on his Twitter page, their links to their Twitter are in the description box below. So guys, peace out, stay true, and we'll see you guys Thursday, 8 p.m. for the Q&A. And I think so basically, so by Thursday, if Arsenal get that walk, the questions may be quite bitter. So all I would say, Ramon, is that maybe you may want to excuse yourself from Thursday. It could get ugly. It could get ugly. Guys, peace out, stay true.
Cool.